Hello everybody, welcome to my comparison of the DS's of yesteryear. And these do not include the original 3DS or 3DS XL because those are part of a completely different line of systems. This is just the DS handheld lineup, which includes the original DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, and the DSi XL. So I'm going to be comparing these as fast as I can, and I'm going to be cutting out unimportant bits, but no unimportant information. So let's try to make this as little time as possible. So let's go. So first starting with the DS. So right off the bat, we've got all the buttons. So the power button is on the face, and the start and select buttons are up here. The only thing that's going to be changing is where these buttons are placed. Okay, so right off the bat we have a 3-inch screen, or 7.7 centimeters. We've got two of them, and then we've got the speakers right up here and here. And we've also got shoulder buttons, the stylus, and the DS cartridge slot. And this uses a it's the GBA SP charger, or the DS charger, because I guess this one came first. But we also have some nice, wonderful shoulder buttons before they start cheaping out on them. So not the most pocketable design, but definitely has the best ergonomic feel for the DS. And well, I might as well tell you something about the screens. Okay, these screens only have two brightness options. So we've got backlit and then non-backlit. Oh yeah, and this also has a volume slider, headphone jack, and Game Boy Advance slot right here. Now onto the DS Lite. So right off the bat, volume slider, GBA slot, headphone jack. We've got the power button over here now, and it's a slider instead of just a button. The stylus slot has also been moved here. And then back here, wrist strap slot. I didn't tell you on the first one, but that one has a wrist strap slot too. And then here's the DS cartridge. And then they've moved to a different style of charger, which is proprietary to this system. No other system in the DS family uses this. So, yeah. So another thing that's different is the speakers. They've moved up a little bit. The screen size has stayed the same, I am pretty sure. Yep, it just stayed the same. But the start and select buttons have moved down here instead of being up here. And also the lights, they have moved from being down here, which I didn't show you, but on the original DS they were down here, but now they're up here. And unlike its older counterpart, the DS Lite has, I believe, 4 levels of brightness. So we've got 1, 2, split this, 3, 4, and then it goes back to the dimmest. Okay, and they have removed the option to turn off the backlight. Now to the original DSi. So they have taken out the GBA slot. The headphone jack is still here. The volume switch has changed to 2 buttons, which I don't particularly like, but that's it. And then they've got the shoulder buttons, which are much better quality than the DS Lite's shoulder buttons, which were the cheapest in the entire line. So we've got the stylus slot, and now we have a newly advanced SD card slot. And the DS stuff has stayed the same, except for the fact that they changed chargers to a more modern one, since they still use this one today with the 3DS. And they still have the wrist strap and DS card slot, but they have added a camera and a wireless light. So they actually changed all the lights from being over here to over here, and they added one wireless light. As you can see, right here, it can show you which functions they're monitoring. So you got the charging light, the power light, and then the wireless light, like I said. They move the power button back to being on the front face, but it is moved from the top to being on the bottom, or from the side to being on the bottom. And besides that, all the other button placements stay the same, but we have new speakers. We've got some, I think these are better quality, because I do hear a difference. And we have also got the microphone, which I neglected to tell you about, but they've all been the same. They've all been up here. And then we have a camera, a newly added camera. The other mics were in the middle, and then this camera is now in the middle, and the mic has moved slightly sideways. So I'm just going to measure the screen here. It is a 8.5 centimeter screen diagonally, and they have completely upgraded the hardware with this one. And in settings, they moved brightness settings into this menu, which is really annoying. But now we have 5 brightness settings with, once again, no way to turn off the backlight. Now into the DSi XL. So all the outside stuff. Once again, no GBA SP, or just GBA port in general. Headphone jack stayed the same. The SD card slot on the same side. Stylus slot right next to it, like always. They have made elongated shoulder buttons, and basically everything is still the same. It's the same charger, same DS slot. Oh yeah, and these can also support DSi games. And once again, we have the little wrist strap slot. And they've moved to 2 separate buttons into one elongated button. They moved in, they made 2 separate buttons for this one. On the DSi, they just had one elongated button that you'd press on one side. So we open it up. Oh yeah, and the camera slot, or the camera thing, stays the same, but we now have a glossy finish. And here's the biggest difference. I believe these are 8 centimeter screens, and all the buttons stayed the same. The light, the camera, and now we have newer speakers. So these speakers, I'm pretty sure, are the same quality, just different design. Just little speaker holes instead of the big slits that the DSi had. And we just have a bigger power button. Well, I should say a more expressive one, because the old one was just a gray flat, gray indented piece of plastic. So the oh yeah, and another thing that I should mention is that the DS Lites, all the buttons on the DS Lite and the shoulder buttons feel incredibly cheap and mushy. I just think that. But these are all clicky, nice and clicky. And once again, we have all the lights. So that is it for the DSi XL. Here's my final verdict. I'm not going to be ranking these on being able to play GBA games or DSi games, because that is something that all of them cannot all do. So, in my personal opinion, I'd say the DSi XL is the perfect way to play DS games, because the big screens. The only thing that I find downbringing to it is in Mario Party DS, there are mini games where you have to slide across the touchscreen, and that's a little hard doing this on a giant screen. Coming up second is the original DS. The ergonomics and the clicky and the nice shoulder buttons and the button placements all make this a really good contender. Oh yeah, and the mic slot is not in the middle on this one. I just thought I'd have to mention that now. Even though it only has 2 brightness options, this is where I spend the majority of my time playing on. And then in third is the DSi. It has a really nice feel, really nice buttons as well, larger screens than these two, and the speakers are more high quality as well as there being camera. I'm not even sure if it matters, but the ability to have a camera on it is wonderful. I guess, because distortion. But this is the third best DS. Okay, and the last one, the one that I really do not like. I mean, it looks really good. It looks better than these two, I have to say. It looks way better than these two. This is just a fingerprint magnet, and then this is just bulky. It looks better than those two. But the thing that really gripes me right here is the mushiness of the buttons. They're not clicky. They're extremely mushy compared to the other ones. And then this is when Nintendo started getting the idea, oh, we can just cheap out on the shoulder buttons. So half the time, you're going to get gunk and other grease and stuff clogged in these shoulder buttons, and they're not going to register a press. Power button is not the most convenient thing in the world either, and I really just cannot see myself playing on this as much as the other ones, because this is just kind of clunky compared to the others. And it uses a completely proprietary charging port. I just still cannot find a place for that in my heart. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of the DS's. So I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also, if you're new, you might want to join my Discord. Not many people have joined that, so I'm just going to throw that out there. Join my Discord. Links in the description.